Good morning, good morning. I'm finally on time. There we go. Yeah, I think I had too much coffee. And I had a Diet Coke, which I never drink. I was just feeling sleepy all morning. And I think I over caffeinated. Hey, Elsie, how you doing? I'm good, Dan. How you doing? Oh, well, getting a little bit of liquidation. And welcome everyone to, what day is it? Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday, the 21st of May. And once again, this month is just, these months, they go quicker and quicker and quicker. And next week is month end. So today's Wednesday, and then we have a holiday on Monday. So the traders are desperately trying to get covered on their shorts before the end of the month. We came into the single prints of, I think that's the 15th. We found some buying. Had a nice move, up to 59.34 off of it. But once we got up to 59.34, sellers stepped in. Hey Joe, how you doing? And I put in the JJ, where is it? The analysis section. I was long here. I went long on this look below and fail. But there was a seller right there, and I got out too early. And about 3 minutes after I got out, the thing ripped. So I wrote up how I wasn't paying attention to the lows of these candles. That's what I should have been paying attention to stay in the trade, and I should have been offered. Honestly, this week I've been trading. My discipline has not been there. I have to admit. Like sometimes your performance is just not there, and I feel that I'm getting distracted or I'm not concentrating as much as I should. So I'm going to spend some time working on that today and tomorrow, and just try and dial into the market a little bit better. It's easy to blame the price action and all that, but there are some decent trades that I missed. I missed this one. I was out. I was out of the house. That look below and fail at 59.08. That's where we found those bids in the single prints. That was a nice move back up to 59.22. That was a nice trade. So, and then I missed that. I caught this rebound, and that would have been nice. I was long 22 half to 29, but I was out way too early. I was out like 24. Just botched the execution on it. Not the entry, but the exit. So in my trading journal, I'm like, okay, right? Anybody ever see the movie Remo Williams? Is anybody old enough to remember that one? Seriously? No? Right? Well, the little guy who's trading him, he's training this cop on, how to be like Yeah, exactly. You move like pregnant yak. Exactly. That's me today. Yeah. Today I was moving like pregnant yak. So we I gotta tighten that up a bit, right? A bit more discipline. I gotta work a little harder. Sometimes you get lazy. You gotta catch yourself. So we have sellers. It's a great movie. It's hilarious. It's very 1980s cheesy, but it's funny. And it looks like this is our sort of, I was to draw a box here. Looks like we've got a little rotation. It's been a strange market. I've noticed today that what's been happening is it'll do these like little sideways move up, little sideways move down, and then sideways again. Let's see what happens with the next move is. It's interesting. Now, overnight inventory is probably oof, 95, 97% short, right? So we're looking for this. Now, yesterday, did anybody notice that like there wasn't a lot of selling, but did anybody notice the market was just like nobody really wanted to buy it? That's why we didn't have like a big correction to overnight inventory. Anybody notice that? The longer we stay up here, the longer we stay up, we didn't have that big correction. Like yesterday, overnight inventory was short. We didn't get this. Today, overnight inventory is short. And there's selling pressure. There is selling pressure, but there's just not a lot of buying, right? There's just not a lot of buying because if you look at this chart, this includes the overnight sessions. We got a good amount of inventory long above 58.75. There's a lot of inventory that's long here. Right now, if I get rid of the overnight sessions, there's still a good amount. I'm really interested in this low. Around 58.85. Yeah, there was no aggressive buyers until the afternoon geocap. Exactly. That's a really good observation because they had to start buying aggressively in the afternoon because the market was going to close. But they just kind of played hard to get all morning. That's why we're not having that aggressive correction to overnight inventory. We had a decent one. We had a decent one here, right? This was a decent move, but they sold right into it. They sold right into it. And we're kind of here. This is the middle of that zone is 15. So I'm just watching to see. I can't really call it just yet. And not that I'm a great predictor of markets, but generally I have a better sense of what's going on. And today I don't. So I'm going to spend some time watching. And that's what I do when I'm having discipline issues. I'll spend a little bit more time watching the market and trying to like really, really zone in. When you get a move above or below the cost basis, I notice that you always get a measured move in the opposite direction. And if it doesn't go, it means trending. I think I understand what you're saying. I don't know what a measured move is. I've heard you guys talk about that, right? But what that is, if you get a move down, let me kind of speak in. stock seller language, right? When you get a move down like this, oh, come on, stupid drawing tool. When you get a move down, we will sell, 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 and then we'll stop selling. And when we stop selling, the shorts come in and cover, wholesale starts buying, right? And then we'll kind of let it come back up, and then we'll hit it again. And we'll sell, 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 and then we stop selling. We let it breathe, we let the price come back up, and then you re-engage. So at these areas here is where we, the size sellers, are re-engaging, right? Because if we just sold everything, it would just go like this. This way you get to sell and distribute more product at better prices. Because if we all just dumped it here, the price would just go like this, right? So you sell and then you stop selling, right? And then they come back in and then you hit them again. And then they come back in and then you hit them again, right? And this is how you distribute product. Now you guys are on the other side of that. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, GeoCap. Right? Because our cost basis is up here for the trapped longs. Right, sorry. Right? That they get flushed out. But as soon as we start distributing distributing product, right? You get those, you get a move up and then we sell into it and we stop selling. We let it breathe. And then we hit it again and then we let it breathe. And then we hit it again, right? So that's how we distribute inventory. I'm not sure if that answers your question. Sadiq, so we have overnight inventory is 96% short. Okay, I was off by 1%. So what I'm looking for now, and the only thing I'm really thinking about is number one, we're going to open on a gap down, right? We're going to open outside the previous day's range on a gap down. So that means we have supply trapped long above us. And what I'm seeing is we came into these single prints earlier in the morning, found the bid and came back up. Now, is there still responsive buying in here? Right. Even though overnight inventory as a whole is short, the fact of the matter is anybody who's long, over 59.14, is not really happy right now. You know? When this opens up, I'm just going to watch it and let the market kind of tell me what's going on. I am a little short biased. And I'm hoping for a liquidation. I would really, really love for us to take out that 58.80 area, you know, and shake some inventory loose, right? I'd really, really like to see that happen. Get some better price action. get some liquidation going into the end of the week. Remember, we still have that massive gap below us. So the question is, have we trapped enough longs over 5,900? 58.76? Yeah. Yeah, that 34 seller's been there for 5 hours. He's like haunting the thing. Or she, right? Yeah, I had think 58.75 LC, so we're in the same neighborhood. Yeah, we couldn't get down there um, last week. Oh, you know what? I haven't looked at a daily candle wax chart in a while. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, and the 200 squiggly line there is there, right? 58.82 and change. So we haven't had a test of that ever since we got over the 200. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. See, there's that big gap. Let's see if we can take that out. And that's the 80, 58, 80, 84. Somewhere in there, there's a swing low right there. And the reason I'm looking at that is if we take that low out, ugh, I could draw a straight line properly. If we could take out that low, then all of this candy will start falling out. And we could get under 58.60. That would be cool. Oh, and that's where I get that 58.75 level from there. But until we take out that 58.80 low, swing low, right? We'll see what happens. Be good to get some liquidation. It would be very healthy for us. Get a little liquidation, grease the wheels lower. We got to find a way of getting you back on here, Elsie, with this YouTube. I had somebody that was helping me, but the guy disappeared, so. Cool. I'll keep Steve happy. Oh, there was a little YouTube mishap earlier. I came on half an hour earlier than I should have. And I was only on for 10 minutes because I drank too much coffee and I realized I started half an hour earlier. So I deleted it. Didn't talk about anything. Okay, here we go into the single prints. I was a little over eager. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I was having trouble waking up, so I drank a bunch of coffee and then I had a Diet Coke, which was kind of like lighting the fuse. And then I started the YouTube session half an hour early because I didn't even look at my watch. I was like, oh, let's go. And people are like, JJ, you're early. I'm like, oh, crap, I am. What's up, Irish Wolf? Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, excuse me. I think I was just up way too late last night. I went to bed at like 1 in the morning. Doing some writing and getting old. Started going to bed early, taking my Geritol. Yeah, I think we're going to test the overnight low. We still have 9 minutes going till the open. We've definitely got sellers. And really nobody in any kind of rush to buy. The offer just keeps moving lower and lower and lower. Yeah, no kidding, Irish Wolf. Jeez. I still remember I went like for 25 years sleeping 3 hours a night. Hey, Cryptomania. Oh, do you have a body shop? That's cool. I've got some buddies back in Canada who have that. Oh, it's crazy. Okay, so let's get some liquidation, as the King of Queens would say. Right? Finally fill those single prints from the 15th. That's good, Cryptomania. Advertise for a body man on my YouTube channel. Actually, we've got a lot of gearheads on that watch my channel because I'm a gearhead. So it's, I always end up talking about cars or motorcycles, and then I get into trouble. People are like, "Get back to work." Yeah, I would love to see maybe a look below and fail of the overnight low. That'd be cool, right? If we did one of these trades off the open, right? And a look below and go, of course, the obvious target, right, would be 5,900, right? That's that nice round level that we've got. And then underneath 5,900, if you look here, there's a low from D period of the 15th, and there's a stop there at 58.99. Based on where sellers are present, are you able to determine the likelihood of an instrument making a lower high versus a higher one? Yes. You have a good idea because when you see those sellers competing, Especially and that's what I love about the candle chart, because here you can see that sellers are clearly competing here, right? So when you go back up there, you expect there to be a seller. Now, if there isn't, that means the sellers have spotted buyers through the glass door, and they're going to raise price and see if those buyers will chase price higher. But the top of these candles, that's where the sellers initiate. I think, Kevin, it's because it's a new product with that company that they still haven't worked out all the bugs. You got to remember, Sierra's been around since 1986. See how they saw buyers? You could think of that almost like a glass door. And when you look through the glass door, you see, oh, wow, people are lining up to buy. Let's raise price, right? If you look through the glass door and you see the buyers backing away, you go down there and you sell them at lower prices. Why do all markets move in the same way? That's a great question. It's because the people who move the markets, Cryptomania, we are all trained the same way. You guys all look at markets differently. Some of you are Fibonacci traders. Some of you are moving average traders. Some of you are, uh, I don't know, whatever you guys use, right? Some sort of indicator, right? The reason why we are all trained to do the same thing, move inventory. And markets are all about moving inventory. That's why they all move the same way. And they've all been moving the same way for thousands of years, right? NASDAQ's just a thinner book, that's all. So we're seeing some bids, Napshark. So if you were a seller, would you rather sell at 11 or 14? Now we got competition again. This is why I want you to sit and watch, like we talked about. Because you saw them lift the offer, and then look at that candle compared to that candle. It's offered lower. Now, can it see? Look. Watch. Just watch. Just watch. So you got sellers at 14 and a half. They were at 14 and 3/4. They moved down. Now let's see. If we've got enough buyers coming into the store, we can raise price over 14 and a quarter, 14 and a half. Right now we can't. And that's what that chop is. Yeah. If you ever search for something on Google, nice one, Damascus. Your Gen X is showing through. Oh man. See, look. Look at the top of those three candles. Look, can we move that guy or girl? There you go. Got somebody who wants to pay a little higher, right? I'm selling it at 14 and a quarter. I'll pay half. Okay, let's go. Damn. I was just taking my DOM off sim and I missed this entire green candle. Oh man, I'm slow today. I move like pregnant yak. Let's see if we could hold the 18.5s. Yeah, long 18.5 out 21. Seller at 22. See how they're front running 22, Napshark? Right. Now let's see if that seller, see, they're still there at 23. It's always good to have a healthy distrust of what's going on, but not to the point where you don't take the trade, Irish Wolf. And that's what happens to me sometimes. Okay, let's see if we can fill the gap, right? Gap's at 26 and 3/4. Two big short covering candles off the open, right? Boom, boom. They're going to sell into it at the previous day low. Well, hell, if I was long 16, I'd be a seller at 24. That's for damn sure. Because everybody else is selling. Look, there's 1,000 contracts at 24. Ah, sorry. Yeah, you're right, LC. Right? And LC is right. Oh, look, gap is filled. Right? And as LC says, and as I say, this market has a very, very annoying habit. Just when everybody goes and gets short, right? As everybody gets short, all of a sudden it mysteriously runs out of supply and rips, which is a real pain in the butt. Hey, thanks, Cryptomania. I'm going to have to lose some weight if I can fit into a supercar. That's the problem. You ever see that video of the old guy trying to get out of the Lamborghini? It's hilarious. He's like crawling on the ground. Okay, so now let's backfill that big move up. Yeah, we. This is a nice overnight inventory correction. This is a nice overnight correction. The opening move in RTH is the counter inventory move, which is nice, right? Corrects that inventory. And that's the way these US markets are structured. They're not really structured for continuous liquidation. Okay, let's see if we can get over 25.5. Yeah, it's okay. You know, the good thing about it, Sean, is that it's a 23-hour trading day. Like, I'm a little better this morning on that last trade I took. But earlier this morning, my trading was slow and kind of plodding and, not very elegant at all. So I took a little bit of a break and I came back. And then hopefully this afternoon I'll be able to trade with a little bit more discipline, a little bit more fluidity. And then some days you just can't. I don't know. Some days every trade you take doesn't work, and you just have to give into those days and just kind of chill out instead of forcing it. The guys at Shadow Trader, I really enjoy one of their sayings. Brad says sometimes you're the pigeon, sometimes you're the statue. And that's just the business. Okay. Now, is this a look below and fail of 22? All right, try a little. It's got to hold 22 for you to get me into this thing, right? There's a seller at 24. Come on now. Get out of the way. Right. I picked up two contracts at 23. It was 23.33. And I don't know, I was offered a 24 and a quarter and it just it's not really taking them the way I like. So, I'll get out of that. Scratch the rest. Oh, thanks, crypto. Now, let's see. I could have gotten just chopped up in this for being a little early. See you, Travis. Have a good one. VWAP's 27. Thanks, Zazu. That's helpful. Thank you. See, when you get these big green candles, there we go. See that? See, that's. I was thinking of a look above and fail of 22, but then when I saw it go back over 22, I went long, but I went long prematurely. That's okay. And there's still a seller at 24. So that seller that was bothering me is still there. I'm a little biased to the long side just because inventory is so short. But I am seeing that the aggressive buying comes in spurts, like here and here, and then it's gone. Right? Having a hard time even getting up to VWAP. So don't be surprised if we dip under 22 again. Here we go. Let's see. Eh, see, there's that 24 seller. And just as I thought it was going to go under 22, it chopped itself back up. Okay. That's okay. See where they sell into it again. Because there's a lack of follow through on the long side, don't count on these big green candles just happening. What I'd suggest if you're buying and you clip into this thing, wait till it sells off and then comes back up, right? We always want to try and take the back end of the move. And in a choppy market, it's hard to establish where that back end is. See there, tag 22, stops selling, starts lifting up. So I bought 23. I'm offered at 24 and a quarter, and they took only one contract there, right? And I'll probably scratch the rest if it gets under 22. And I'm just trading micros because, yeah, see, I'm gone. Uh, I'm just trading micros because my execution is a little to be desired. Let's see if it works. Okay, 23 long, selling 25 and a quarter. And no, sold 25 and a quarter and 25. See those sellers, they're just irritating. They're just irritating. There we go. Right. The 23 and a quarter, 25 and a half out. What do you think about Lux? Lux? I don't know what Lux is. Sorry. See if we can. Oh, there's that big green candle. But you can never count on it when you need it, you know? Let's see if we can hold VWAP. Seriously, right? See, Howard, it happens to everybody, right? As soon as you get out of your position, like 90 seconds later, right? Right? 90 seconds later. Yeah, it was 23 to 25 and a quarter. We are back in yesterday's range, Raj. We're holding on by our fingernails. Like Stallone in that movie Cliffhanger, right? We're just hanging on to the previous day low by our fingernails. Lux Algo Indicators. I have no idea what that is. Sounds a bit above my pay grade, Cryptomania. Now, above VWAP, your targets are 31 half, right? 31 half is that V high, and that's probably where they're going to sell into it. So let's see if it holds the previous day low here. Jeez, nobody wants to buy this thing. Let's see if we can hold VWAP. I don't like taking trades off of VWAP, but the hell. Nobody wants to buy it. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, is it? Thanks, Jaden. I respect anyone's programming skills because I couldn't program my way out of a wet paper bag if my life depended on it. So I respect anybody who can code and program. Right? I'm just an old eye gouger. I just poke you in the eye and hit the bid. Little distribution over VWAP, but come on, not much of an appetite. Boy, oh boy. There we go. We take out the 20 nines. Gosh, the cheap buyers here. There we go. There we go. Took him at 27, but man, that was a nail biter. I'm flat. The last 3 minutes, the candles, the lows are higher. That's not much to go on. We just have commissions. Yeah, that's why I don't trade those bucket shop products like CFDs or spread betting and all that stuff. That's why I like regulated futures products. Can't hold it overnight. I don't want to hold it overnight. Because those CFD products, that's how they get all your money. You get into a bad position, and then they let you wire money from your bank account into your brokerage account to hold the position. So instead of getting rid of a bad position, it drains your entire bank account. It's brutal. Those things, it's a different. And everybody's like, well, in the UK, you don't have to pay capital gains on how much money you make with those. I'm like, yeah, well, you need to make money in order to have capital gains, right? There, see, finally the big green candle. But there are sellers, right? It's like there's no taxes, yeah, but you got to make money. And it's been in our trading room since April. It's been a difficult market to trade, and we have people who are doing well. Um, but what I'm really proud of is the people who are adapting. You know, um, looking for 32 and a half, learning how to adapt your trading when the market changes, and boy, does it ever change. That's one of the hardest things to do. especially in these choppy markets, right? They'll go from volatile to choppy to volatile to choppy as the business changes, and you have to adapt. These tiny distributions, and it's doing it again. It did it here. You see? Tiny distribution. It's doing the same thing again. Kind of hard to trade. You got to position trade it with a bit of a larger stop. If it keeps doing this week, what I'm going to do tonight after the session tonight, I'm going to rewind the chart. I'm going to play the chart back at regular speed and then at at a faster speed and try and figure out. It's almost like they switched. It's where are my car guys? It's and ladies, sorry. It's like they changed the gears in the rear end of the car. It's a little different. The last 2 days. Anybody ever notice that the last 2 days the price action is different? No? Yes? Right? It's different. We're filling those single prints, right? Overnight inventory is correcting upwards. Slowly. Slowly. I mean, it's okay. I just notice it's different. I'm not saying it's untradeable or bad. I'm just noticing if it's changed. Look at those sellers at 34 now. They're back. So I think we might retest. Look above and fail of 32. So shorting 32. Bought one back at 29 and 3/4. Short 32 and a quarter on the last one. Covered it at 29 and 3/4. Flat. And the reason why I shorted that is because who was saying there have been sellers at 34 all bloody morning, right? Just a quick, just shorting the backfill. That's all I was doing, right? We took it up to 35 and then we backfilled down to 29. So that was the basis or the business reason for that trade. We have been trading less volume, Ronan. The reason we have been trading less volume is after you get a massive short squeeze, you will have less large participants wanting to put large positions together above 5,900, especially before a holiday long weekend and month end. Where's Joe? Is he still around? You still in the room, Joe? It's like Joe works for a white shoe firm, right? So those guys, they'll be like thinking about the Hamptons already, right? Right. And when you have less participants, you get more of a choppy price action. You don't get that smooth flow of customers that come in. Yeah, even when we sold off, we weren't as volatile as during COVID. The algos have better shock absorbers now. Oh, I don't think we had a limit down day in this last flush. Oh, well, no trade for me right now. Let's see what happens. Next half hour period's going to open in a couple of minutes here. Well, they raised the limits for limit down, right, Rosemark? So, got to have a fairly serious move. Back in yesterday's range. Just can't seem to hold the bid. I'm looking for 29. See if we can rotate back down to 29. And if we slip past the goalie at 29, look for that 26 and three quarter, which is just a hair under. There's 29 right there. Tag, you're it. Ooh. See if we can slip under 29. Of course, your next target will be VWAP at around 27 and change. A lot of traders get really upset with this kind of price action. Um, for traders who are newer and aren't bitter yet, right? Right. For traders who are younger or newer and they haven't gotten all bitter and sour, you can use this time to do some good learning. Yeah, I don't use moving averages. And there's VWAP. And if we can slip by the goalie at VWAP, look for yesterday's low at 26 and three quarters. Right, that's why I like static levels. It'll look below and fail of 29. Rotate up to 32 and a half. Nice trade. Nice trade. Right, look below and fail of 29 up to 32 and a half. Couple of points here, a couple of points there. Now it's going to come back down and test the 30s. Go find the bid again. See if we can hold VWAP. All we're doing, folks, is rotating inventory. Right, back under 29. Let's go test VWAP. And if VWAP breaks, nope, front running VWAP again. No, long 39, out one at 31, out one at 31 and a quarter, out one at 31 and a half, and flat. Just clipping in and out, a couple of points. Right. Oh, look at that. Well, news. I'm flat. Oh my goodness. Everybody's awake now. What did LC say about exactly 27 minutes ago? What did LC say? He said, not that it's going to happen again, but watch out on the short side. There's the news, right? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I was happy with 29 to 31 and a half. Bloomberg terminals are experiencing a widespread outage. Oh, well, let's take advantage of that. It's like that episode of Billions when they got hacked and they had to use flip phones to trade. That was choice. Now, do we have any follow through? Did we trap enough people short under 59.30 that we can jam this thing and keep it up over 36, 39, 43? Just give me 2 Blackberries, a couple of landlines. I'm good to go. I'll make markets all day. Ah, where's the seller now? Seller's at 36. And everybody went back to sleep. Big green candle from 29 all the way to 44. And then everybody just went back to sleep. That seller is still at 36, 36 half. Yeah, too many sellers competing at 36 and a half. Now we got to wait for the next move, right? Oh, I love the BlackBerry, Jaden. That was when the first mobile level 2 was out. So you could have, if you were like working on two or three stocks, you had a BlackBerry for every stock, and you got to leave the house, so you could actually watch the level 2 on all your stocks. It was wonderful. Anybody have any questions? I'm kind of noticing the chats are a little quiet. There was that rotation up to 39 and a half. What's my average position size? It's never usually any bigger than 10 to 15 E-minis. Usually, like what I like to do, KKS, is I like to trade for 3 to 5 points on 3 to 5 E-minis. If I'm trading like crap, I'll trade on the micro to get my skill and my discipline up. Because I just don't like to blow money unnecessarily. If I'm trading like crap, I'll switch to the micro. I never rarely trade more than 15 E-minis. That's usually about max. And I trade for income. So I'm what they call a, right, I grind every day. I don't trade for glory. Hope that answers your question. And my goal is just to teach regular people how to make an income. So the micro is $5 a point, the mini's 50. 15 ES. I'm not a big trader. I'm not a big huge size trader in the ES. If I want to trade size, I'll take a public company and I'll go sell 100 million shares of stock. It's a way better it's a way better outcome. Right? Well, there's the mini and the micro. I don't really know of anything else. Usual drawdown? If I lose like a couple of $100, I stop trading. I'm really cheap. I don't have to lose a lot of money to know that I'm not trading well, Aaron. And because I've been doing this for 33 years, I don't have that desire to trade where I have to make my money, right? Yeah, I'm a scalper, man. I'm a scalper. I'm in and out 3 to 5 points, 3 to 5 minis, right? I'm cheap. I don't need to lose five, six, $800 to stop trading. I know very quickly if I'm on or if I'm off. And if I'm off, I'll stop trading, go do something else, go do some business calls, something like that, and then try and come back. And if I'm really off and I lose another 100, $200, I generally will. The biggest loss I've ever had is $650 on a seven-figure account. So, and I was pretty embarrassed about that. I'm trained from a school that, you know, I'm trained from people who taught me not to lose money. And all you have to do is be around the next day. It just comes from being, I'm taught by savagely cheap old men and women about the business. So they don't tolerate the kind of crap that retail traders do, right? I mean, if you go and blow up accounts where I come from and just do and say it was FOMO and stuff like that, well, you're fired. It is, you do what you're told. You don't lose money unnecessarily. Right? It's just, you know, just a different world. Can I shout out? I'm sorry, KKS. Could you refresh me on who that is? Is that the gentleman who's from the floor who wears that red coat? Is he that guy that was the ex-floor trader? Been a while. Well, definite shout out to him. He's an old veteran. He knows his stuff. I just met him, I think, on Twitter, but that was like 5 years ago. It's like I haven't spoken to him in years. He's very, very good. He's been doing it like I've been doing it 33 years, but he was on the floors. There's a lot of old guys that, are really, really proficient. And we're back down to VWAP, folks. Don't be surprised if we go test out these lows again. There will be a time to hold trades longer, S-Pill. I'm hoping. Now, maybe I'm a little delusional. I'm hoping after all the drama of April, and we kind of use this month to get things a little calmer, right? Get a liquidation going again. I'm hoping that June, July, August is some nice back and forth trading where the markets kind of calm down and we can just make a little bit of money in peace. You know what I mean? Without all the tweetage. I could be a little delusional, but that's what I'm hoping for. Not so much a squeeze, Sadiq. I would like some two-sided trade. You know? Yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about, really. I would just like some nice I like making money in a boring fashion, right? I just like making a little bit here, a little bit there. It adds up. Nice and chill, no drama. You know, What these 500 point ranges, right? Just a nice peaceful summer. You know, that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see. I'm not a prophet. I don't think we'll. I don't know for sure we'll get that, but it would be nice, right? Maybe when you get to that July 8th thing, maybe we'll get an extension. That would be nice. Just let us make some money in peace. Oh no, I trade Globex quite a bit, KKS, because I'm located in the UK, so I take advantage of the time difference. So I'm up at 5 in the morning UK time, which is about 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning New York time, midnight. And I like Globex. I like Globex trading, not when it's really quiet, but when sometimes, it's nice and smooth. Okay, I'm long 29 and a half. I'm selling 32. Look below and fail of 29 and a half. 31. Ow, come on, you dirty, rotten. Right, I had to sell him at 31 and a quarter. Let's see if that works again. There we go. Had two left, and I'm just going to flatten out. I'm flat. And I'm just selling before 32 and a half on that look below and fail of 29. We came down here. We tagged VWAP, came back up, so that's why I was buying 29 and a half. Just had my stop there. And then as it rotated up, I just hit it out. Those are the trades I like. I just like scalping. That was on 3 contracts. I like nice and boring rotations. Those are my favorite things to trade. And what do I mean by that is when the market is just trading in a box. So you can do the look above and fail and short it down, and then it does the look below and fail. You go long, you put your stop here, and you sell into it. That's my favorite kind of trade, or rotational trades. I had there we go. Good grief. Now we're just stuck in this rotation. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not so concerned with the breakout. Like for me, like a perfect thing is maybe a 7 to 8 point rotation range. Like this one's kind of crappy. It's only 3 points, right? So if you get a nice 7 to 8 point rotation range like this one, this 32 to. Let me just clean this chart up a bit. So here, you know, you get a nice rotation here. I'll trade that all day. That's nice and boring. You trade from the outside in. What's up, Taco? How you doing? Looking at work? Oh, did you get a new job? Oh, that's right. You did get a new job, didn't you? Washout incoming? Oh, that would be cool. I'd love a good liquidation. That would be lovely. Look at those 1 minute candles. The lows of those 1 minute candles are creeping higher and higher. Look at that. Hit that 34 seller to the tick again. Boom. Jeez. Oh, that's right. You told me. Sorry. I always wonder how you guys trade at work. You know, whether you have two screens going and or you guys like trade off your cell phone and hide it under the desk. I don't know. I'm curious. All right. Can we get up to 36? Nope. Not just yet. That 34 seller went, wait a minute. Get back here. They got more stuff to sell you. $172,000 contracts in RTH so far. Yeah, you guys must have a way to quickly hide the windows, right? I only once got in trouble for that. I had switched brokerage firms and you had to like switch your license. So you weren't allowed to do anything. So I was sitting in the bullpen and I had like active deals and active clients. So I'm calling in orders to market makers off of two cell phones. And the compliance officer walks by and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. Like I'm making markets in three stocks completely unlicensed. Oh, that was funny. That was okay though. That brokerage firm and one of our podcast guests, she'll confirm that. We'll have to have her back again, Danny. That brokerage firm, they were trading for dirty FBI agents. These guys would go and short a company's stock, right? And then they'd send like a dirty FBI agent in to shake the company down to get free stock to cover their short. Man, that was a scam if I ever saw one. It was brutal. Oh yeah. Look below and fail of 32. But that 34 seller, man, they're greedy. Come on, let it breathe. Let it breathe. Nope. 34 sellers, too active. Everyone's competing. Look for 29 in VWAP again. This chop is. Hopefully, the price action gets a little bit better after I hop off. Okay. Well, folks, I want you guys to come and check out our trading room at the Trading Syndicate. Use that code on the banner there to get a discount. And come in, ask questions. It's a good community of traders. Why am I using market profile? It's much more precise than volume profile. I use market profile to tell me where I am in the larger sense of things, and I use volume. I use the candles to tell me where the buyers and the sellers are located in shorter time frames. It's pretty simple. Oh, the code's down here. If you look at the border of the YouTube thing. That's okay. It's only $39, $40 a month. I'll buy you a coffee. Make up for it. Under 29, looks like we're going to 25 and a half, but if we reclaim 29, then it's just a pain. Every time we get close to a liquidation. Why am I not using tape? I don't know what you're asking, KKS. Why I'm not using the time and sales? It's right. I am. It's right here. This is the time and sales in a graphical format. Right? Are you asking why I'm not using this? Right? So this is the time and sales. So we just use the candles to put it in a graphical format. It's a little easier on the eyes. That's all. Nice and simple. Oh boy. Overlapping points of control for the overnight and the regular session. Time to go for a walk, get some exercise. Well, folks, thanks for joining me. Appreciate you taking your time out of your day to spend with us. Hopefully tomorrow we get some better price action. And I'll see the rest of you folks who are in the coaching class in half an hour. Thank you very much. Trade well. If you have any questions, DM me. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me for the hour. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye for now. Trade smart out there.